guys. It's me. Yes, I've been gone for so long. I'm sorry I have been gone. It is purely just because life took over. I've just had other priorities. I'm going to vlog. Quite honestly, so I think I had the motivation to vlog on Monday. What did I do on Monday? Good question. I think I just watched The Rookie. Then went bowling on Tuesday, came home and watched The Rookie. Today, I don't know. I was gonna clean my car. Did that, but like not really. Watched The Rookie. So made brownies. I think I ate too much chocolate. I always have the urge to make a plan to go explore somewhere whenever I'm basically just bored, because I get bored when I am off uni and I have my summer and I'm also unemployed. My little lammy. This from Folkestone Emporium for £29. It's genuinely like, it's a jelly cat. How adorable. Yay! Today I am testing my anxiety. Sorry, the switch up between all these clips, I can't even cope myself, and I'm editing this and I filmed it myself. I can get very stuck at home when I've been at home a lot, and I will get anxious going out, which is not good. So we're going to test that today by going on a solo trip. So welcome to my inner monologue. For God's sake, my inner monologue. I'm basically going to try and talk you through everything I think before I do something on my own or have plans. Basically, the whole day before, even though I didn't actually solidify I was definitely doing these plans, I was anxious about them. The night before, I didn't even have to go. No one was forcing me to. The night before, I was anxious. This morning, as I'm doing my bed and like pretending like how cutesy and adorable this is, I was anxious. I was actually really worried. There's no reason for this. I literally can function as a human being outside, but you know what, sometimes when you don't leave the house for a while, even though it's probably only been like 2 days, at this point I don't even know, but you know, my brain needs continuousness, else I forget how to function. Yeah. Key thing to note here is that, as I mentioned, I was anxious, and in the past I would just let that be a reason for me to have a relaxing day at home. But the whole point is to try and break cycles. So I knew it was even more reason for me to get out the house and actually do something and test me being on my own. I'm walking to the station, and honestly I feel like I've left it too late to have left, because I don't want to rush, but you know, when my brain's saying leave the house, I've just got to do it, because it's not often. But it's so sunny as well, and usually I would not just want to be in a vest. I was almost unbearably hot just because it was surprisingly sunny outside, and also I was anxious. I am sweating too much, like way too much. I'm so hot. I need to get to the beach. This doesn't show you is everything else that happened before I made it to the beach. I got off the train and I started walking to where it says the harbour was, following the street signs as well as Google Maps. I ended up behind a father and his daughter, and then I felt weird for following them for so long and they were going the way that I was going, so I had to go a different route. So I had to pull Google Maps back out, even though I was very content on following the street signs. Then I finally made it to what I saw was a bookshop, and I thought that looks cute, but I won't go in there straight away because I need to get familiar with my surroundings. So I'm walking down and up and down and up, on the same street because it was a small side part of the town. So then I made it back to the bookshop I had planned to go in, even though I'd walked past about 2 shops that I thought maybe I want to actually go in there because that looks like stuff I really want. But then I thought, what if they sell things that are way too expensive and they go in there and they think she can't afford any of this stuff? So then I went into the bookshop and it was just me and this like kind of cool bookshop worker, and I was the only one in there. So then I'm walking around, and by the way, I'm overheating. I'm sweating so bad because I'm anxious and it's hot. And then I get to the Emily Henry section because I thought, I'm not finding anything. I'm just wandering. I'm now just walking around like a weirdo. What if they think I'm like creepy? So then I make it to Emily Henry and I pull out a book and I read the blurb, and I'm not reading the blurb really because I'm focused on the fact that there is a bead of sweat dripping down from my upper lip. And then I leave the bookshop after looking at 2 blurbs. And then I decide I need to cool down and I need to get myself onto the beach. I'm at the beach and honestly, I've been so sweaty, it's so hot. But like embarrassingly so, where it's dripping from my face. I was in a bookshop and like I could feel it tumbling. Now you might think the chaos ends there. No, I got worried because I thought the beach was private land. I just read a sign that said the word private on it, so I thought I can't be here any longer. There was also ants crawling everywhere, so I got up. It wasn't glamorous. I made it to the harbour, and by this point my body temperature had gone down, so I managed to then go into lots of different shops and got myself an ice cream, which was well needed. This was my favourite part of the day because I genuinely felt at peace. I'd actually gotten over all of my worries and I was just sat on the beach on a bench, had post ice cream happiness and Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which I'm absolutely addicted to right now. While sat on this bench, I had a lady come sit next to me and then a nan and her granddaughter after that other lady had gone. Another key thing I will say is that I didn't wear my headphones at any point until the end of this day because a lot of the time I can use my phone or music to ease the situation and also get me out of having to be social and be in that place. I really wanted to make myself be present, to have to experience the drastic nature of my social anxiety in in those moments, and eventually like I really grew comfortable with that because I could hear people chatting, I could hear children laughing, and I could hear parents talking to their kids. Like, I don't want to have to depend on something to ease my anxieties but also take away part of the joys of being on a beach. It was really nice, and what I want to say is that yes, I had a very chaotic start, which happens with every time I decide to do something on my own, but it always ends up being really lovely. And I had a lot of fun looking in charity shops as well. I had a nice little mooch around the town once I had actually built the confidence. It did take me probably an hour, but that's not too bad, and it's better than not doing anything.
When I was younger than before, I never saw the truth hanging.
I'm boiling. I'm just struggling up this hill. Earlier, a lady said to me, "Ooh, you look chilly," because I'm in a vest and shorts. No, she is incorrect. I'm the hottest I've ever been. Ow. I also really need new sunglasses, and I looked in so many shops and I just couldn't find any I liked. Very particular about which ones I want. So that was the only fail, because I actually couldn't see much when I was on the beach. My eyes were hurting. But I'm actually boiling. This is too much. Home now, and just one thing that I bought, I'm gonna have another look at it because for some reason when I was in the shop I was like, I just need it.
It's one size bigger than what I usually wear in t-shirts. I mean, kind of two sizes. I'm an 8 or a 10, and this is a 12. But the thing is, I'm thinking, I had a vision. A vision hit me as I was looking at it. I could wear it over the top of something. Let's just have another look at it. It was £2.50, so it really is not that bad. No, I really love it. No, I do. It's going to be like I'll wear like a white top underneath and this go over the top of that. £2.50. I mean,
I wanted to film this video as one, motivation for myself to actually do this stuff, and two, if someone watches this and has the same thoughts and inner monologue as me, I hope they watch this and be influenced to be bold and beautiful and brave. Because the one thing I have learned is that, you know, I've been an anxious girly for many years. I've been here. Sometimes in the past, I have let myself not do anything for a couple days or something and then be nervous to just leave the house. And it's not in the sense of where it's like debilitating, is that the word? Like, I will still be able to do it, which is a privilege because some people get agoraphobia and stuff like that, but I still need to be pushing the boundaries of how I prioritize my comfort. Comfort is so important to me, and there needs to be a balance. I need to be able to allow myself the comfort of my home, being safe and secure in my bed, but also not allowing myself to overthink just going to the shops or something like that. What I will say is a huge thing for me when I'm doing something, if I'm feeling a little bit anxious, is to have what I need so that any minor inconveniences are accounted for. One, I'm so thankful I brought my fan with me yesterday. If I didn't, no. I bought this handheld fan when it was like the heat waves. Oh my good lord. This is genuinely my support item. My second support item is my water bottle. I mean, I physically can't be without. Water is just what, it's just an essential, but especially if, for me, when I get anxious, my mouth will go very dry. Like, you also just want water, do you know what I mean? But like, you hear me? I also made sure I had a lip balm because I can also lick my lips a lot when I'm nervous, so I don't want to be uncomfortable in that sense. You know, in my life I feel like I'm a little bit like that Dyra's CEO guy, but in the sense that I try to optimize my day, but it never goes my way. Whereas he seems to wake up and look at his watch and it tells him he's had the perfect amount of sleep and he lives happily on. But as soon as he has a glass of wine, sorry, this is just not the conversation I should be in right now. But what else did I bring? A hairband to tie my hair up, which I tried to let it down. This is another thing I did. This is just my thought process, guys. I had my hair down. I felt more confident like that. I didn't really want to just be in my vest and shorts because that also makes me nervous. But I kind of had to because, you know, would I rather overheat? Like, genuinely, because I was already on the verge. And then makeup. Something about making myself feel good before I left the house just gave me that extra boost of confidence, just to feel like, okay, at least I don't need to think about this, which I'm not, I feel like I'm having to just like defend myself, but like I'm genuinely I'm very content with how I look. I've got a lot of self-love, but something about me in a public environment, being around human beings, makes me conscious of the way I'm perceived. Not that I would hate on my appearance, but more of just like how I am being. I mean, the one thing I always think about is my goddamn posture, but you know what is behind me don't matter anymore. So if you just see me hunched over, like, just come to the front. But anyway, sorry, I've been yapping too long, but I really do hope this is a little bit of inspo, and hopefully I'll do more of this stuff
in the future for my own mental sanity. Yes. Bye, guys.